Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is a Jagdpanther. It's a Tier 7 German tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Ruinberg, and it's under the command of General FUBAR of 1AR. And his equipment are vents, a rammer, and the improved aiming to try and get his aim circle a lot narrower quickly. Okay, game on! This is the tank destroyer that came out of the Panther. Well, basically, it's a design derivative of the VK3002M. Now, there's a variety of guns you can actually get, including the 88mm and the 105mm, and I think this is the 105. Yes, it is. First shot gets a hit on an EBR Hotchkiss, and he spotted another enemy, a Kalana. Get shots. That's better. No, that one just didn't get in, but he might be able to get the shot on the EBR now. He ought to shoot. Didn't get it. It's normally such an accurate gun, does a lot of damage. It's also, like most tank destroyers, very tough to penetrate at the front, but it's very easy to penetrate at the sides and the rear. Now, General FUBAR sent me in 2 replays to show what he's been up to in the meanwhile. This is one of them. Got another replay to show directly after this one. So far, they're only 1 down on the enemy, and this EBR is obviously moving up to the hedge line, or the row of bushes, to try and see exactly what's going on. And, oh, there, that was bad. He was trying to follow the target as and when he was going and changing direction. He's doing it again. And he tagged him this time. 316 hit points. Now, as I did sort of like mention, this was the 100mm main gun. 105 rather. 320 alpha, 282 millimeters of penetration. With the premium rounds, that goes up to 252 millimeters and 320. Same. And with HE rounds, oh, he finally got him. With the HE rounds, it's 420 alpha, but only 60mm of pen, and he one-shots the Super Chaffee for 282. So 2 kills so far for General FUBAR, but an event's going on right in the middle of the town centre, and I think that's the bombing run, isn't it? And at the moment, we're all even with the enemy. Our spotter, the AMX 12-ton, is just rocking backwards and forwards on the spot at the moment. There's no Arty. He'd be punished for doing that if there was Arty in the game. But that AMX he is just spotting what's going on the main road. And they're shooting down that main road towards the enemy tanks. There's a Kalana down there, an OI, a Tiger P. And see that Chi-2 SP moving backwards and forwards. Oh! Well, the 12-ton did get wiped out in the end, and it's the Kalana who got him, and ouch! We took a big hit from the Progetto for 244. So he's collected a fair number of hit points already, but things don't seem to be going our way because we're now down by 3. You know, he's popped back up again. Have a quick look to see what's available. We do have 1 tank near the main road, an M4A3 76 wet, but only they do get 1 kill back. In fact, it's the M4 who got that kill. So tier 8 game with tier 6 tanks in it. Got an enemy Jagdpanther Type, the flat panzer, moving up there, and now we've got nobody up there because the M4A3 has been taken out by that Jagdpanther Type. So now we've got problems because we've got nobody spotting for us closer to that village. We're also losing in the town centre as well, being pushed back, and there's a 4 tank difference now. Make that 5. Now, I have the feeling that what General FUBAR is doing is trying to set up an ambush. I say General FUBAR, but I should just say it's GenFUBAR. I'm not sure he's actually a general, but he's trying to lend some help. Oh! Well, he gets one round into that Progetto, but now he's going to have to take the punishment because this guy's got a 90mm. And we take 2 hits. Yep, 3 hits. And this will probably... Oh, just missed him. It's the reload that gets you every time on this. And he's out the game. He only had 2 hit points left. Missing that shot when he tried to fire through the window. If he got that, then the Progetto would have gone. But in the end, it was the fact that he had a long reload. And the Progetto knew that. And therefore, he could poke his head round the corner and get 1 clean shot in to kill FUBAR. And there's only 2 left on his team now. And it's the SU-130 PM and a Nashorn. And they're right up on the east side of the map. So they'll try and hold out as long as they can. This guy has a 13cm main gun, loads of targets he can shoot at, but he's got no armor. And he does wipe out one of them. He gets the OI. And they're trying to get him. You can see the shells that are actually hitting the rubble in front. And that's a good shot. This guy already has 1 kill. Can he get another one? No. Just the Nashorn left then. He doesn't know which way to turn because he's got enemy coming up at him from the other direction. And in fact, it's the Progetto that gets the kill on him too. Oh, and that's the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and well, that game earned a fire for effect from GenFUBAR in the Jagdpanther, but I'm afraid no other medals in this one. He got a win rate of 3,467, which is super income standard, but if we look at the team score, we can see that he did get the highest damage on his team, 2,175 hit points. The highest damage in the game went to that Progetto, got 3,692. Mr. Tax Collection. Yes, well, he certainly collected a tax on GenFUBAR, and in fact took his life. And the top scorer, second top scorer, was the Oni, who managed 3,018. When it came to kills, we can see it's the Progetto and the Oni both got 4 kills apiece. 2 kills went to the Kalana, the Jagdpanther Type, and also to GenFUBAR. And when it came to base XP, it's the Oni that came out on top with 1,202, followed by the Progetto 1,166. Those are the only 2 managed to make it over 1,000 base, with the Tiger P getting 828. And we can see GenFUBAR got 398. He fired 15 shells in that game, got 9 direct hits on the enemy and 8 penetrations. 2,175 hit points of damage, of which 1,532 were at more than 300 meters. So, fair amount of damage at close range. And that was, in fact, the Progetto that he was up against. 6 enemy hits received, 5 of which penetrated, most of them the 90mm from the Progetto. 1 non-penetration as well, and 240 hit points of damage blocked by armor. That was, I think, 1 shot that came from the center that bounced, or at least it didn't get through the armor, hit the right spots it blocked. 3 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and he earned 36,336 credits for the game, including a 15,000 bonus, and he also got 895 experience points. So, sadly, yes, it was a loss, but as he says, you can only do so much in battles, and he certainly did the best on his team, but it just wasn't enough overall. Let's have a look at the second replay. The second replay is in the Type T-34, the Tier 5 Chinese medium tank. Game on! This is actually quite a good tank if you've got the 57mm gun. It's not so good if you've got the 76mm, and yes, he has got the 57mm, which is a tier 5 gun. It's actually a derivation of the Russian T-34, the Soviet T-34 I should say, Chinese built. You can tell it normally by the fuel tanks on the back. They're not actually connected to the main fuel tanks. You have to actually open the valves and connect up the tubing, and then you can drain them into the main tanks, but they're normally just sitting there to be ease of being carried. Now the 57mm main gun is capable of doing 85 alpha, and it'll penetrate 112mm of armor, and he's spotting an enemy tank and an A43 at that, which is obviously one of the replacements for this tank. He's landed in a tier 6 game with tier 5 tanks, so he's bottom tier, and it looks like, yes, that A43 has been wiped out by our Bursa. Now the main reason the 57mm is very good, it's like the 6-pounder gun, the British 6-pounder. It's very effective at penetrating enemy tanks. It doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but it does have a very fast reload. The standard reload, 2.21 seconds. You can see here the standard reload we got for GenFUBAR is 1.8, so it's a lot quicker, 0.4 seconds. But remember, it's very quick to pump out these rounds one after the other. He should be able to get damage on a Tiger 131. Doesn't look like the enemy have actually come into the desert area, so they might want to actually move up. I don't know why he fired that one, really. There wasn't anything in sight, so that was just basically either a warning shot across the front of the bow of this Cromwell. Now he probably saw the tracer coming from that general direction and thinks that there's Arty in that general direction. He's trying to pump a few rounds down there to see if he can hit them. Personally, I wouldn't waste the ammo. You do get plenty, 120 rounds, but it's much better keeping that ammo for the enemy tanks. Okay, we'll get the shot on this guy. Yeah, nice. Good aiming. Yeah, engine bay. That was the turret. Another enemy tank comes into sight, and it's a Leopard. Obviously, he has been spotted now. There is Arty on the enemy team, so you don't really want to remain stationary for too long, because otherwise you'll get an Arty shell coming back. In fact, the Arty is now starting to focus on the Cromwell B. The enemy has an FB304, the tier 6 British SPG, and of course they have a PP. Now he accidentally aimed that one thinking the guy was actually going to turn. That one, yeah, ricocheted off, but now he's tracked, and now he can go to town, and yes, he got the kill. That's his first kill of the game, but you can see where the shells are actually landing, that it appears that the PP, the 105 Left H18B2, or the FB304 might be the other side of that peak that's right next door. Well, it's in F1. The heights, we should say. In fact, it's the FB304. He's been spotted now. The Cromwell obviously got sight of him, and he's on the run, and our Type 64's now getting involved. We're only one up on the enemy, but I think they realise now that there's great potential here. Okay, it forces those enemy to pull back. See if that T-52, he tried to lead that shot into the guy, but he is moving so quickly. Oh, good shot. Yep, that tagged him. He's behind a rock there, so you can't get that one. Again, try not to stay stationary for too long, because if you do, if the RT takes a fancy, you do get spotted, you're more than likely going to get hit. And we've just lost our Type 64. He was just too adventurous, and as a consequence, he paid for it. Now, can we get shots on these guys in the center? Well, only the top of the Tiger 131 there. And he is getting penetrations on the cupola, would you believe it? And the Tiger just took a big hit. Or was it somebody else? I think it may have been the chaff heap. Well, we don't want to get too close to the Cromwell because otherwise the enemy Arty is certainly going to say, well, this is too big to ignore and it's a 2-for-1. So I'll start lobbing shells in this general direction. The Cromwell just took out the VK3001P. We are unspotted at the moment. We won't stay that long. Oh, he fires one in just on the off chance. I think it's fear of missing out here. FOMO. He wants to be up and close with the Cromwell as he thinks the Cromwell's going to go in and finish off some of these last few remaining enemy. Although the scores are even, we've got the advantage of position. Nobody up on the heights except us and the Cromwell. And we've got a wreck here we can use for cover. The Cromwell B's name is Damn You One. Now down below they've got an FV304, a PP and an ARL V39. Okay, the Cromwell's decided to go all in. And the FIFI's not where he was last seen, but we were spotted, and I think it was the ARL spotting us. There he is, he's over there, he's just dropped down into the riverbed, and the Cromwell's going after him. He loses some hit points in the process, but you'll probably be able to shoot at him from above, or not. Oh, he does decide to go down as well. Wow, that was a bit of a dismount. Now they've lost their protection, so now it's just the FP and the FV304. The 304 has probably departed. There we get shots on the FP, just aim straight for the gun shield. And he does get the kill on the FP. Now can he get the FP304 and pick up Pascucci's? The Type T-34 is one of my favourite tanks actually at tier 5 because it's so quick and nimble. You can run around the battlefield at high speed, doing lots of damage. The FV304 has obviously departed and headed to the east. Oh, the ELC doesn't have much in the way of hit points, but he does have a 90mm gun. So basically, he just wants a piece of that FV304. Of course, we haven't got his top speed. Our top speed, 55 kilometers an hour. There he is. Okay, we've got a shot. One, misses. Gets that one, goes for the kill. Yes, he got his Pascucci's. And that's it. That's the end of the game. They've won. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second class tanker for GenFUBAR in the Type T-34. He managed to get a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in that game. He managed to get 6, and he did get the Pascucci's medal for killing both enemy SPGs, both the Fifi and then the FV304, the Burt. His win rate in this one was 5,583, and I think it helps that this little thing moves quite rapidly across the battlefield, and that 57mm gun is very effective at tearing holes in the enemy. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see he didn't get the highest damage. That went to the Burzu, picked up a Spartan, a high caliber, and a steel wall for 2,360 hit points of damage. Second highest, the Hummel managed 1,706. And then in third place, GenFUBAR picked up 1,320. Not bad. He beat the Cromwell, who only got 1,252. When it came to kills, there was a whole bunch of guys who all managed to get 3 kills apiece. The Burza, the Hummel, and GenFUBAR, and the Cromwell B. And on the enemy team, only their OI managed to get 3 kills. When it came to base XP, he's in 5th place because the top score was the Burza, 1,157. The Cromwell being 926. He was doing a lot of spotting. The Tiger 131 on our team managed 789 in 3rd place. And you can see GenFUBAR in 5th place with 698. He fired 38 rounds, so he didn't really even touch his ammunition. So firing those blind shots, I suppose, yes, you could say, that's not bad, actually, if you think about it, because they're not that expensive. They're relatively cheap. and there's always the chance that one or two of them might actually hit the target, but I would actually probably prefer not to fire off blindly, but to actually try and conserve ammunition, because you never know when you might need it. 20 direct hits on the enemy, 18 penetrations. Yes, it does get good pen even with just standard ammo. You don't need to use premium, the standard ammo is enough. 1,320 hit points, of which 848 were at more than 300 meters. He was doing a lot of long-range shooting. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and he got 92 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he actually made 92,413 credits, including 50,000 for mission completion, and he also picked up 2,612 experience points out of this game as well. So looks like GenFUBAR is, or GenFUBAR I should say, is actually having a lot of fun, both in this game and of course in the previous one on Ruinberg in the Jagdpanther. He certainly did a lot of damage in that one, even though he didn't hit that many tanks. The EBR, he was plonking him from a distance, but he did manage to get those shots in, which actually took him out. And he did get 4 hits on the projector, which reduced him to a very low amount of hit points left, but that guy still managed to come out on top of his team. So yes, I hope you enjoyed those replays. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.